Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meticulous Talks on January 18th, 2021, for the first time. Happy New Year, Hithrock.
Happy New Year. Isn't it January 16th?
It is 16th. Yes, I was not looking at the date on my calendar. Thank you for that. I am, of course, Cursor Chords.
And I'm Hifrock, and it's our first stream of the year.
Yes. We were originally scheduled to go last week, but, well, I moved, and a lot of things kind of got moved aside because of that. But it was honestly probably a good thing because now we have a number of things to talk about that happened this past week.
Yeah, a
There
couple
was
of
a
things
harmony.
happened.
Yeah, there was a harmony tournament, and just yesterday there was a ban list update.
Hmm.
So
Are those things related somehow?
it's conceivable that there may be some cause and effect going on there, and
Yeah.
I mean that will become a little bit clearer when we look at them, I suppose.
Do you want to go dive right into it?
I suppose so. Let's get to it.
So, we have this lovely seahorse.
I've never seen this card before.
Yeah, I don't think anyone plays it. I mean, pink and purple aren't really popular colors, if you ask me. But yeah, most seriously, this card got banned in Harmony. Only Harmony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Salina has been around the block a little bit in Harmony. Admittedly, even as we see as we'll see in the results, not like everyone plays it, but she has a real habit of showing up at the top of the results.
Yeah.
For the past year or so,
I think,
or even more than that,
yeah.
really. Yeah,
I think since her appearance, really.
pretty much. Yeah.
Because in Sequestria we had the BRB meta, and it ran this card for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Friends Forever was all about pink, purple, white, right? Also ran this card. So yeah, she's been dominant ever since her release, I would argue.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of good reasons why. Everyone knows she's combines card advantage with chaos effect potential, and now with same day delivery and getting a T that way,
Mm-hmm.
she generates a lot of value.
Yeah.
In particular in Harmony because it is relatively easy to get her out early, thanks to train traditions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that eccentric is useful too. I mean, honestly, more than sometimes it is.
Yeah, it's like without Eccentric, this card wasn't good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this effect is kind of underwhelming. How do we make this card better? Oh yeah, let's put Eccentric 2 in it as well. It's pink, right? Must have something pink in it.
Why not, right? Yeah. Not like drawing cards is pink or anything.
Mm. I mean, Scope Things Out is just a purple card, so.
It is true. Although scope, the wording on scope is look at the top 4 cards, right? Not draw the top
No,
4 cards.
it's exactly the
Oh, it
same.
is draw. Oh,
Yep, draw 4 cards, put 3 on top.
right. The purple has a minor draw cards thing, right? Because Twilight's Epiphany drew cards for you too.
I think it drew 3 cards or something. So it is a little bit of a purple thing. Yeah, I'm somewhat surprised this card was spawned just in Harmony and not in Core. They do touch on that in the document, but I don't know, I think it's still very good in Core. And
I don't think it's. No one's going to argue the card's bad anywhere, really. And as they say, she's not. She's still being looked at in Core. But for the, I mean the justification in Harmony is pretty cut and dried for the moment, given the particular impact on farm decks, and and the fact that Rangers exists. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to see on Korg as far as it goes. I'll admit, I was probably expecting her to get banned across the board too. Just because give it another year of core, and I mean I guess she'll rotate at some point. But we'll get tired of her there soon enough too, I'm sure.
We need like 2 more sets for her to rotate out, so 2 years. I think she'll be
Yes,
banned before that. That's my
seems likely, yeah.
that's my guess. So I think like instead of beating around the bush, I think she should be banned everywhere.
Hmm.
And I really like the card. I love playing it.
That tends to be the case with cards that end up getting banned.
Yeah.
Well, not all the time, but
Yeah, I didn't
sometimes.
really like Nightmare Moon all that much.
Yeah, yeah, because like, well, and obviously this is the kind of thing that Sim would be able to speak to better than us. But like, if over the course of these next 2 sets they want to have farm maybe become more of a thing in core, well, Salina's gonna be there to be a problem if it does, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, this card is kind of a gatekeeper of farm, right?
Hmm.
Because you don't really because like people play this card even without farm present in the meta, right? Because it's just not good. So if people already run this card, you're kind of discouraged from running farm because people already have answers to it and they don't like they run it without even like you can't bring a rogue farm deck to the meta, right?
Yeah,
And take them by surprise because people run Salina anyway.
absolutely, yeah. So well, not a particularly surprising ban.
Mm-mm.
Uh, as I said to Hidrock earlier, we've been kind of assuming it was going to happen for the last 3 or 4 months now, really, or longer than that even.
Yeah.
So, but
Uh,
it will be interesting to see where Harmony goes.
yep.
As we transition to the results, the top deck from Vanhoover isn't going to be around anymore.
Such as there's a pattern, right? Whichever deck Bugle brings to a tournament gets banned at some point.
It's that is an interesting correlation. Yeah, I I I mean yeah. I guess he's not here. He would probably comment on that if he were.
Maybe he'll see the recording. He watches
It's
them
possible,
sometimes.
yeah. Whether it's, I mean, I'm sure he's not. Well, he's trying to bring whatever's going to win, right?
Yeah.
And as we already said, cards that consistently win you tournaments for more than a year tend to end up getting looked at some point.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of results, do you wanna?
Speaking, sure, let's go.
All right.
Now we're actually going to save Bugle's deck to last, um,
Yes.
which means we'll be starting with Joking Luna at Queen Chrysalis.
Yep. White yellow. It's Changeling deck with the Changeling main in Timble and Herd of Adoring Fans.
Oh, this deck, right? He's been working on for years now, I think, right? I feel like this deck, Joking Luna's brought this or some variation on this for a number of tournaments now.
Yeah, pretty sure that's the case.
Has he made any modifications to it lately? Let me see.
I don't know when I saw it last time. I kinda wish Joking Luna brought the combo deck that he was talking about.
Hmm.
Like last year, he was telling me of his combo idea and it sounded really cool. But it is a harmony, like you can do it in core. But I would love to see that deck.
Oh, I see. Okay, so for the last few online cons, he was actually playing his Alicorn deck. Here it is. Okay. Online Con 4 is the last time I have on file for the Alicorn for the Changeling deck. So what's
Well, there's
new?
new Thorax here,
Yeah.
so that's at least one change for sure. I think there's also a new problem, which makes sense for a changeling deck.
Yes. Yeah. Bring out your best is pretty correct in any deck that's going to have a lot of stuff with the same trait. Let's see here. I think the Rarities Epiphany is new as well. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
Resource recur. Well, let's see. Yeah, okay. So that gives him a resource recursion for Herd and for Princess Mask.
Also gives a
And
removal.
removal. And well, Herd isn't an accessory, unfortunately, but you would get to play Princess Mask for free if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, Beavers is new as well, actually. That was. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. It's not. Sorry.
I think Beavers is the only thing that actually dismisses resources here.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, which is fair. It's a really good resource removal. It's 180 immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate resource removal is not a thing you see that often nowadays, especially in core.
Yeah, actually, there hasn't been a card that did that. Yeah, not in a long, long time.
Since High Magic, I think, right? In High Magic, we got
Well,
Beavers and Rest in Pieces, and that's it.
yeah.
Well,
Which are the resources that you most care about getting rid of at immediate speed?
motivational speech.
Yeah.
Motivational
Uh,
speech fire. Well, it depends on what kind of deck you're playing. Getting rid of stick at immediate speed is pretty good.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Any of the resource fixing ones potentially, or sorry, color fixing ones potentially.
yes. That's all I can think of right now.
Yeah. Well, I guess opposing accessories potentially as well. In general.
Yeah. Yeah, but not many people run accessories, right? They're pretty rare sight.
Yeah.
Either way,
Either
quick
way, yeah.
changeling deck. Sad it didn't win that much. It won one game.
One game, yeah. Not nothing at all.
Do you want to move on to the next deck?
Sure. More changelings?
More
Or, well,
Chrysalis.
yeah, at least one Chrysalis. Chrysalis purple. Oh. Oh, I see. Diamond's playing, or at least I see a blackmail, so I assume control of some kind.
Well, I mean, only blackmail tells you that, not like Blade Stripes, Luna Midnight. Huh?
Well, I was going down the list. I see the problem deck. But yes, the
Okay,
rest
that's
of it
fair.
is yeah. The rest of it's there too. I mean, there is only three troublemakers. Only the three mimics. Is she playing Rarity and? No, she's not playing Rarity in Twilight.
Yeah, but I think the goal here is to like Mimics is just like this looks like a tax deck, right?
Right. Yeah.
The powerful magic is attacks. Lusterdome is not attacks, but I guess it's point acceleration. Blade Stripes is attacks. Midnight is attacks. Mimics are also attacks.
Hmm.
So I think that's why they're here. You have Uzisarai, Wink. This is a tax deck.
Right.
And
It's Chrysalis and on even ground, really, right? You take away their ability to bank
Yes.
resources, then you make sure that they have to pay more than they can get to do anything, basically.
Yes. Didn't you play this deck at Heiko? Because I look at this as like, hey, I've seen this deck before.
When was... Oh, I might not have done that Heiko yet in Tia.
Let me check. I'm like super sure I've seen this deck before. Yep, Heiko 27.
Yeah, okay, yeah, here it is.
Oh, and
The exact same deck? No,
um,
slightly different, I think. I mean, and I only see 5 distinct problems in the Heiko version, so it must be
actually even more
slightly
than that. I
different at
think she
least.
played this deck at Ciderfest online con as well, or at least a variation of it. So
Variation of it, yeah.
yes, the Ciderfest deck included stack of suitcases, Joe, Applejack, Factory Organizer. Like it had some orange in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
This one has none of that, but has like more taxes and more purple stuff.
Right. Right. She put in, I believe there's redeeming qualities in this one, yes.
Yes, for midnight.
For getting the Luna out, yeah.
Yeah, instead of splashing into orange, she decided to go the reanimation route, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's much easier to do it this way.
Absolutely.
That said, there isn't many ways to get Luna into your discard pile in this deck. At least, not that I can see. But still,
Yeah, I guess not. Funnily enough, it might be worthwhile to consider that new spike. Like you'd go back into orange, but the spike that allows you to mill yourself and the opponent.
yeah. Or
That
just
one's
run
own.
Pinky Sense.
Or just run Piggy Sense. That is the traditional answer for anyone running a slow deck.
Mm-hmm. One card I would probably replace though is Fashion Upgrade because Standstill just sounds better.
Yeah, standstill is less requirement, same cost, makes you pay 2 rather than 1.
Yep.
Yeah, it is just better, isn't it?
Yeah. But otherwise, I really like the changes to the deck because I've actually one of my so the reason I this deck looked super familiar to me and I know she played it at Ciderfest is because one of my locals actually plays this list.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, when like the previous list when it was going off, it could really lock you down, especially when you get on like uneven ground and tax combo, really good. But getting orange sometimes was kind of hard, and I think not splashing into third color is a step into the right direction.
Right, yeah. So I think, yeah, there'll be potential in this list,
Mm-hmm.
as, as you say, going to a good place and just needs a few tweaks, and we'll see.
I think Stack Suitcases should get back into this deck though.
Yeah, for sure. Like, stack is so...
Stack
It's
plus Chrysalis plus Uneven Ground is just brutal.
it's the yin to Chrysalis's yang, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the deck though. And like Uneven Ground with taxes is so smart. I would never
Hmm.
think of that myself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alright,
Okay, sure.
next deck.
Next deck, Anemoy with that's Orange Luna, purple. Orange Luna usually slow. Yep, I see blackmail again. Um, see what else do we have here? Is playing the new spike.
One sec.
Actually, there are a number of spikes here. There are 3 of them here.
Is this a spike deck?
I mean, probably the most. Well, okay, I can say the most like that we've ever seen. That would be like the song combo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty close.
You also have spike on magical misfire technically, so even more spikes.
Right.
So yeah, from I can see, it's a meal slash control deck.
Yeah, probably. Right. With Nightmare Moon, can't draw more than 2 cards. Is there any forced discard?
Spike.
Well,
Uh,
Spike is mill, right? Or unless you're thinking about a different
yeah,
Spike.
yeah, but that's
Right.
that's a discard.
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. Discard from deck. Yeah,
Oh, you mean like ways to flip Luna?
yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean that too. But I mean that's what Apple Bloom's for. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Animo says this is anti-living to love deck.
Oh, you're here, Anamoy. Good to see you. Anti-living the laugh. Interesting idea. Um, a, a bit of a risky play, I suppose, helping them along to get to emptying their deck out. But if you can get rid of the living the laugh, then yeah. I mean, I guess you're the living the laugh expert, Hithrock. There's usually a way to get it back if it comes out of the discard, if it comes into the discard, right?
Well, that's why Portal to Tartarus is in this deck. If it goes
Hmm.
there, it never comes back. Also, Tempest Shadow, Easy as Pie. Uh, it's my nemesis now after that game at comment the Invitational Tournament.
Hmm.
That card wrecked me, and it can really put some wrench into some plans. But I mean, actually, Spike playing the odds must be really good against Living to Laugh, right? Because they have to draw the last card to win.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
you mill the last card, they can't draw it, so they have to put another one.
Right. There will. Will. Will there always like? Yeah. There will always be a priority window where there's only one card in their deck, right?
Yes, unless they like draw multiple cards at the same time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, some Living to Love decks can do, but I don't think that's what they usually do. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's inherently a lot harder to set up the combo where your last thing that you're doing is drawing 2 or 3 cards versus just paying one to draw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe you get lucky and your Spike mills all 3 of their cards. Who knows?
Yeah. Also, Nightmare Moon Deep Darkness is pretty good.
Oh, right. Yeah, that actually would prevent doing it that way, right?
Well, they can
Uh,
still draw 2 cards.
well, they draw 1 for turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they draw 1 for turn and they can draw 1 more. But if you mill it, they can't anymore. Yeah, that works.
Hmm. No, I gotta say, Animoy, this is really clever, actually.
Yeah.
If I This is the kind of deck that I would play if I was doing a friendly against Hithrock, I say, probably.
But joke's on you, I wouldn't play Living to Love combo in Harmony.
Wow, now that I've said that, of course you wouldn't.
Nah, I actually wanted to participate in this online con, but I couldn't. And
Oh,
I would bring a combo deck, but I wouldn't bring Living to Love. I would bring something else.
oh, interesting. Something fresh, something new?
Yeah, something that uses new Discord. Well, it's kind of like a little old with something new. Like I've played this deck before, but it gets better with some new cards.
So it's also white and blue then, right?
I think it's
I was like, that was an incredibly obscure reference. Something old, something new, something borrowed for white, and then something blue. Anyway,
Yeah,
next deck.
yeah. I think your deck anime needs limestone, though. If
Ooh,
you
yeah,
really want to go
limestone.
hard on leading to
Oof,
love, you just
that.
play limestone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
next deck is
next deck.
Groger.
Instagram Grogar purple. There's been a lot of purple so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's like purple is the best color or something.
Well, there will be a little bit less of it in the top. Actually, wait, no, there is. Yeah. How much of this tournament was purple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All of it except Smithers, right? Oh no, and Joking Luna.
Yeah, so 3/4 purple decks.
Yeah, I'm pleased to see that.
Absolutely. Anyway, this Grogar deck here. Uh, looks a lot. Let's see. Is this farming? No, this is
I
control.
think this is just a orange-purple control with endless
Yes.
friendship.
Uh, wait. Oh yes, Twilight.
How does it play Twilight? I don't see.
Let me see here.
Just from Speech and Fire? It's the only way that I can see.
You have
Oh,
two
Pony of
speeches, two
Shadows.
fires. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, oh, can you? How do you stack her?
Uh, you hope for the best.
I
Because I don't.
guess so.
No, I think
Yeah,
it's. Yeah?
yeah. Well, I mean, if you just saw something,
No, I think this deck just plays her, and it uses friendship summons to find most of its friends, right? Because look, pretty much all of the friends are either Twilight or Applejack
right? Only Torque Wrench and Luna,
and Starlight.
and yeah, sorry, yeah,
But like half of the friends are findable.
right. Yeah, I guess so. Most of the friends are pretty expensive, notably. 3, 4,
Yeah,
4, 5, 5.
that's why you play Starlight.
Right. Yeah, and I guess that means that Pony of Shadows is giving you pretty good value, probably regardless of what comes out.
Yeah, you either get an AT gen, right, or an expensive card. That's your two
Pretty
options in
much.
this deck. And sometimes Torque
Yeah.
Wrench.
Which is resource removal, so
Yeah.
pretty good.
So yeah, I think no matter which friend you get from Pony of Shadows, you end up happy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mind Palace, I assume, is kind of a drop-in replacement for Destiny Drain. Though I
Uh,
would just run Destiny Drain.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's being run, I would imagine, in the advertised role as being a counter to Meadowbrook, or at least get rid of all the other ones. But yeah, Destiny Drain works just as well, right?
Well, the only
Yeah.
caveat of Destiny Drain is that the card has to be in the discard pile, which is
Right.
sometimes hard to achieve.
This deck doesn't have removal to discard.
Uh,
So
well,
yeah.
Torque Wrench.
Well, for resources.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
like that's yellow. Oh, that's purple's usual problem, right? You play against Pile of Presence, and you have the Destiny Drain. So it'd be really nice to Destiny Drain Pile of Presence, except all your resource removal is banish, not dismiss.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I really like Torque Wrench. She just dismisses. And Big Mac is pretty good as well, in that sense.
Hmm.
But yeah, otherwise this looks just like, orange purple control deck with some big stuff in it.
Hmm. Yeah. Bit of a focus on uh Well, I was gonna say focus on Troublemaker face-offs due to Applejack and Twilight. But probably less so. I'd be really interested actually to see how this plays with the three legacy leeches too. Um, you don't have that many events in the deck.
But your opponent does, probably.
Well, maybe. I mean, I will have a look at the decks we've seen so far. Didn't have a whole lot of events in them, I don't think.
Yeah. But,
It's well. Sorry, go ahead.
well, for Legacy Lich to be worthwhile, right? You have to banish 3 events, and it already costs 0, right? And
Hmm.
after anything beyond that is pure value. Like
Yeah,
drawing a card or getting extra AT is just value out of thin air.
right. I guess I'm spoiled a little bit. I mean, I'm used to getting 3 AT and drawing 10 cards or whatever. Uh, so I think that's what you got to do to make it worthwhile.
No, I
Yeah.
think anything beyond 3 AT is value. Well, I guess 3
Hmm.
AT and drawing 1 card because it has to replace itself.
Right. But that's relatively easy to do.
Yeah, that's a given.
It's a really interesting card in that way though, because it is like in in any deck that uses it, it is always going to be dead if it's in your opening hand, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Which there aren't many cards that are like, well, I say that without having fully thought through it. Uh, there are a few other cards, I guess, that
I
have that
mean,
property.
any
Anything,
recursion,
yeah,
any recursion doesn't have any value until you discard stuff.
right, yeah, redeeming qualities, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Next deck,
next deck. All right, now we're
Smithers
into the
with
top four.
Bluna. Why I'm not surprised.
Oh, isn't that? Yeah, so surprising. Mono. Well, that's right. I remember seeing this and thinking it is mono unless you're Hithrock. All right.
Oops, I think accidentally. Did I?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I replaced the deck. Hold on. I'll bring it back.
No worries. Uh
Yeah,
yes.
I'm getting a little bit ahead there with the next one. So, yeah, Luna. So, you were talking about it?
Well, yeah. I was just gonna say that some people may consider this blue white, and some people may consider it mono blue, and it depends on your opinions about certain cards.
It's mono blue, but aloe is white. That's where
I
I
see.
stand.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. I would probably agree with you there, honestly. Um,
Yeah,
the I mean, there are a lot of dilemmas here, actually. Well, it comes out to just five. What is that? Well, 10 cards still.
yeah.
Don't usually see that many outside of yellow.
Well, some of the dilemmas are yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a blue-yellow deck, I
That's right.
suppose.
Good point. Yeah. Is there the only way to get those yellows into play is to search for them with fierce loyalty, right?
Yeah, because there's no color entry in this deck whatsoever. So that's the. What if you draw them? Do you just hope you not draw them?
I guess so.
Yeah, it seems like just.
Yeah. I mean, it is only one copy of each of them, so
Yeah, that's
that's
probably why. And I would guess Sanctuary Construction is a sideboard card.
mm-hmm.
Like you can just sideboard it away if you're not playing against troublemakers.
Both. Yeah, calling the con pony is also like if there's no opposing troublemakers in play, it's useless. So
Mm-hmm. Oh, it would probably suck to just draw 2 of them at the start. Wow.
Yeah.
because there's nothing you can do about it. There's just dead cards for the rest of the game. Ugh. But that's why they are one copies, and that's why they're probably just sideboard cards.
Mm-hmm. Hope that your wait. Yeah, hope that your opponent is playing Party of Presence, so you can shuffle your hand into your deck.
Yeah, but other than that, just looks just like your good old
Yeah,
Bluna
good
deck
old Luna.
with some new stuff for sure. But
The oh yeah, he's playing the new Scootaloo,
probably
which
because it's a 2 power 4 cost, which is
yeah,
you play it and Luna goes there, and there you go.
yeah,
We have
it's
7 power for confront.
at its best in a Luna deck for sure. That is one way to confront Final Question for 2.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Squirtle has Swift as well, so you can move her back. Like, so what that she moves home at the face-off? Bluna usually doesn't really have that much
right.
power at face-offs anyway, right? And
Well,
things
unless
that,
you're
yeah,
trying to win a Night Glider face off in this deck. Uh,
yeah, I guess. But like
but
usually Bluna with her shenanigans
yeah,
with moving
uh,
power.
yeah. Usually Luna is either way ahead or way behind in a face off.
Yeah.
There really is no middle ground,
Mm-hmm.
and you play Night Glider into a naked DFO.
So yeah, one thing that I'm surprised is that, given that it's Harmony, there is no Sea Breeze flower, but instead Winterzilla and Trashed.
Hmm.
I would expect like Sea Breeze flower at least instead of Winterzilla, maybe. Because to me it seems like for an aggro deck, Sea Breeze's flower is just better than Winterzilla in almost
Hmm.
every way. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not
So
seeing
it
something.
well it had been pointed out on the Reddit post, I think, that there are no premier block cards here. Um, and so I mean maybe this was a whatever you want to call the format where only premier block is
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah. EO plus. Smithers
Yeah,
actually is a big advocate for it. Like, oh, we should
right.
have EO plus, and I agree with him. I really like EO block. Yeah, it has like things like portals and stuff, but so what? Still a really good
It's the
block.
second best block, easily, at least.
Yeah. It also has a lot of trixies, so
That's true.
see, I can't really love a format if it doesn't have a trixie main. All
All
right.
right.
Next deck.
Next decks. Are the 2 and 3 deck the same or
Let me check that real quick. Uh
they? Yeah, like oh yeah, well at least the draw deck's exactly the same.
yeah, they're exactly the same.
Okay, so number 2 and number 3, Josh and Jacob Stewick, playing Living the Laugh combo, which I guess justifies Animoy's choice to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah, going
Anything?
full anti Leaving to Laugh is a good meta read. Because it's like 2 decks that are using this combo.
Right. So this is a refined version of it, using Lyra for one thing. I don't think I've seen it done with Lyra before.
Well, that's because you've probably seen it only in core, right? And there's no Lyra in
Right.
core. So
I guess so.
instead of refined, I would say it's a harmony version of Leaving to
Har-
Laugh.
harmonized. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
Doctor Who's is really good for what you're trying to do with
Uh,
this deck.
you're talking about the blue one, I assume?
Yep,
Yeah.
he just cycles itself out of your deck automatically. You pretty much don't have to do anything for it to happen.
Huh.
It's
That is actually a good point, isn't it?
yeah. So the first
Cycle,
one you
cycle,
discard,
cycle, and then you get one of the other Doctor Who's at the end too. Yeah.
yeah, it's very similar to Spitfire in that sense. Like the reason Spitfire is in this deck is because it just cycles itself.
Right. So you functionally get to play. Let me see here. 3 and 3. You're playing a 39 card deck. Then.
Yeah, I mean the less you have to mill, the better, right?
Hmm. 39 cards, and then if let's get this price started is actually you're getting down to like a 30 card deck basically.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close to it really.
One thing I don't
Yeah.
really see if there is a way for this deck to get to 15 pink. Like I
Well,
mean,
there's
there's Featherbangs, right?
yeah.
But Harmony has so many answers to that. What if they play Fireworks? Or what if they play Party of One? Like any
Hmm.
mass removal, right? And that's it. You don't have your 15 pink anymore. Seems kinda risky.
Hmm. I mean, is it like there is a version, or like, perhaps I would have wanted to see some of these games in play, that goes like kind of all in one rather than progressively
Ah.
discarding your hands and drawing. You do it as kind of an OTK style, which I guess still is vulnerable to fireworks.
Well,
At
if you do
the
Tiki
critical time.
style, you just play EA. This deck doesn't have it, but it has Dream Seized, which is something like that.
Right.
But I just don't like. There's no EA here, or how do they protect the combo? Like, can't just anyone remove Leaving to Love? Oh well, there's Golden Parachute.
I
That's
mean, yeah,
how.
you have golden parachute for that. Yeah, this is. I guess none of the games from the tournament were streamed or anything. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I'd be interested to see it in action, see how they actually play it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, clearly something worked. They took 2 and 3,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely. I'm also curious about Doctor Who's.
the other Doctor Who's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely missing something because I don't understand why. How does this card help exactly? Other than like putting Mysterious Disappearance on top of your deck? Is it a free draw? You have to. Like, I think this card is net zero in card advantage, right? You
Hmm.
draw a card and you put one back, so I don't think it's a free draw. And there are way cheaper cards for free draw, like Salina Blue, which would still be purple and pink.
There's no way
No, there's same game
to.
delivery.
I mean, I guess, yeah, same day helps. Turn it into a -1 draw, I guess.
But like, if
Well,
you're
I mean,
running purple, why not just have Selena Blue there?
yeah, you're still net zero card advantage. You just gained an AT.
Well, it's out of thin air is pretty good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you are going for the OTK style, you'll want to have a way to get some.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I think that's good because you have that, and you also have playing all of your, draw and discard events into a legacy leads to gain a big pile of AT too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Legacy Leech is a really good card for this deck.
Actually, yes. Especially if your opponent's playing a bunch of events. You'll appreciate the card draw as well, even more.
Yeah, but I mean, on this deck you're going to draw a lot of cards, which means you're going to be discarding a lot of them,
Right.
and like half of this deck is events. So I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure you're getting value out of Legacy Leech there.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. It'd be a fun way to kind of end off if your opponent is kind of saving their disruption or whatever because you've still got 10 cards in your deck, but then
Yeah.
you draw 10 with Legacy Leech.
Yeah, like you play Living to Laugh and you still have like 10 cards in your deck and you have just 3 AT and your opponent like, what are they going to do next? I'm gonna wait for their next action and only then respond. And then you play Legacy Leech and win the game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like combo.
That's fair to say, yeah.
I like to see my combo in my harmony. Alright, you wanna move to
Sure.
Bugle's deck?
To the deck that got banned.
Hey, maybe that's why they run hooves instead of Salina Blue. They were forward thinking.
Maybe. Who knows? Good point. Um. Yeah. This
It's a
is the deck that Bugle calls Twihard.
yeah, it's a toolbox deck, isn't
Weird
it?
how. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That many singleton events. I would have a hard time calling it anything else. Weird how this keeps happening.
So, what's getting banned next here?
I'm wondering if there's a world where like does Gyro get banned at some point?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Gyro is like we have PFF and PFF has been fine, right?
Hmm.
Like, if I tell you like, oh, let's ban PFF, you'll be like, why?
Yeah.
Nobody runs that card. Gyro is a little more interesting because events there usually like there's some cheap ones with like really powerful effects, and Gyro himself is not 280 like PFF but just one, which
Three
is
rec instead of four as
yeah,
well.
which is a big difference. But is he problematic? Like he's basically a wild card event, but
Yeah,
is
yeah. I
that
mean,
bad?
well, he has this tendency that like keep on showing up, and keep on perpetuating this particular deck style that's been around since well for a very very long time in Harmony, which
Yeah,
is not problematic in and of itself.
but like, do you think this deck style shouldn't exist?
I mean, I guess yeah, that's a fair point. It's not. Well, yeah, it's not problematic in and of itself. So I guess it's okay.
Like, so the problem, so there's like one argument for toolbox decks not existing, right? Is that toolbox decks, like by their like intrinsically, they have answers to everything, right? Because
Mhm.
they run an answer, a single answer to pretty much everything you can hope to encounter.
Right. If you only need to include one card to answer any particular deck, then you can answer all the decks.
Yes, but the only the only way that becomes problematic is that if the answers you get like are actually really good at disrupting, even though it's just a single answer, right? And like you want it to be kind of the situation where you're jack of all trades but master of none, right?
Mhm.
And I don't think gyro in particular like changes that, right? Like
Right.
if your deck is jack of all trades but also is master of everything, right? The problem is not that gyro lets you find specific answers. The problem is that your specific answers are so good that they counter, like even a single card is enough to counter a deck.
Right. I mean, that's a fair way to say it. Yeah. I think gyro could maybe have costed 2 as well. That's like, is it that wildcard event that costs 1 more? Potentially a little bit too good as well, I think.
I think 2AT is too much.
Too much. Yeah, it's
I would feel bad for playing. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But like 180, 1 power seems like it is good, but I don't think it's like insanely good.
yeah.
Unlike Salina Blue there,
Unlike Salina Blue, yes.
who is 280 and you get a card every turn. And not
hmm
only you get a card every turn, you choose one out of 3.
Yeah. Now this deck still. Do you think it still survives Selena getting banned? And it still works functionally, but it does lose a pretty significant value engine.
Yeah, I think it can survive. Maybe I'm optimistic, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
hindered that much.
Like note that aside from Selena and the main, this deck actually doesn't have any AT generation.
Not that I can
Well,
see. Well,
I mean same day, but like both same day and the main are tied to Selena.
yes. But like without Salina, same game loses some of the value,
hmm
and with nothing else to like benefit same day from, perhaps losing Salina, this deck will like not include same day as well. Maybe I don't know.
Well,
Maybe it'll
yeah,
include something else like more AT gen or
yeah.
some other card gen.
It'll have to find some way to replace to gain its AT and to gain its card advantage, which will probably involve more than 3 cards.
Yes,
Um, so yeah, it's going to change the structure of the deck somehow at least.
yes. Basically, the value engine is lost, and you need to
hmm
rebuild it with other cards. Because like a lot of things are actually interconnected here, right? Because Pinky Sense is here because of Sam Day mostly, right? Like
hmm
Nightmare Moon is no longer a thing in Harmony, so Pinky Sense is not like a must anymore, right? In fact, this is the only deck we've seen with Pinky Sense, right?
That's right. Yes. Or
So
uh, let me make sure of that.
I'm pretty sure it's the only Pinky Sense. But yeah, and like that's the thing that Pinky Sense plus Same Day give you a lot of like some crazy turns where you start the game with like a bunch of AT. Like remember that play where you play Salina turn 1?
Ugh. Yeah.
Uh, and other than that, you also run same day delivery because of Salina Blue. Like it's really convenient. But would you still run same day delivery without Salina Blue, but with just Pinky Sense? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know.
Yeah. I would prefer to have some other way to activate it.
You could always play Minuet. She's small Salina Blue, which is
I mean,
expensive
yeah.
and costs you 180. But I mean, it exists, so.
I mean, all in all, I think looking at this deck, even even without the history that Selena has, if you wanted to find a card to ban out of here that would blunt the deck but not necessarily cripple it, Selena is probably the right choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to be honest, Salina is not one of those like sleeper cards where you look at them as like, that effect is kind of meh, and then someone finds something that makes the card really good.
Hmm.
Salina was like, as soon as she was spoiled, like you read the text and you see how much value it provides.
Right.
Because
And even e- well, even if you don't necessarily, the first time you play her, you realize how much value she
yeah,
provides for sure.
like the thing is that before Salina Blue, right, there was scope things out and people actually played that card. That card was like good enough by itself, and that was
Hmm.
an event that costed you 1 AT, and basically that effect was free on this card.
Pretty much,
I
yeah.
wonder if things would be different if she said pay 1 AT and do her thing. I think I
Um,
think she would still be pretty good. She
she
would
would still be pretty good.
she wouldn't give you like she would be kind of like Minuet except more cards, right?
Hmm.
But you don't get free value out of card advantage
Yeah.
because you pay 1 AT and you get one card, but you still get this kind of meticulous effect, and you still get same day delivery
Hmm.
triggers.
Still have the immediate speed exhaust for all the utility that is.
Yeah. Well, except you gotta have AT, which is, I
Right.
guess, a big sticking point.
It is actually for immediate stuff. Yeah.
Because one of the things about Salina is that they stack as well, right? If you play 3 of them, you get 3 times the effect, and it's really good. You
Hmm.
can use some of them on your turn, some of them on the opposing turn, and you don't even have to save an ET for that. But if the effect costs 1, suddenly they don't stack as well anymore because you have to pay
Right.
1 for each one. So yeah, it's a interesting food for thought, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll. Well, yeah. We'll see. I mean, yeah. We've said it before. It was time for her to go. She was a great experiment. Good kind of way to push on the design space a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, pushed a little bit too far.
Yep.
Okay, and that is all for Vanhoover. Uh, Based on the way things have been going, and obviously this is Sim's place to announce stuff, but it seems reasonable to assume there'll be another online con next month,
Hopefully, I'll
probably.
be able to join that one.
Yeah, likely core. Um, Maybe even core popper. There's been some uh, interest in that lately with the newest online constructed tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, as for us, we'll be back, I guess, 2 weeks from now, which will be the end of the month, January 30th,
Yep.
with something else.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah,
We don't have a planned schedule yet.
we'll be working on that. Yeah. Otherwise, I've got nothing left to say, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, until then, I've been Cursor Chords.
That being Kifrock. Bye.
Bye.